How do you feel about new age producers that don't use NPCs but are still able to humanize their beats? Gucci!
Are we on here?
Yo.
There we go.
We live. What's poppin', people? What's poppin'?
What up? Here we are. Friday, June 22nd.
Should I distribute the same beat I lease? So, should I distribute the same beat I lease? So, if you leased it, that means somebody just paid to use it, which means you still own the right. So, you could do
whatever you want.
Whatever the hell you want to, bro.
As Tony says. Tony. Whatever you want.
He said, is the wavetable on Ableton as good as other VSTs, Serum, Waves, Contact?
It actually is. Well, Contact is more of a sample library, which is a total different animal, but it's very good. And it's a great tool to learn synthesis on. Yeah.
Have you ever been to beat battles?
Yes. Been to several of them, been in them, judged them, all that.
MPC-X or MK3 or neither?
MPC-X, MK3 or neither. Depends on what you're trying to do. For sampling and sound design, I use the MK3. I use the MPC for more like drum tracks, and the sequencer is just amazing. So yeah.
Gross Beat or Cable Guy's Halftime?
Those are two different things, because Gross Beat can do what Halftime can
do more
in one preset, but way more. But for that one thing that
slow down,
Halftime is better than Gross Beat at it.
That one thing,
but that's the only thing it does. So if you only can get one, I would go Gross Beat.
Oh, was it Ankman Raw? I hope I'm saying it right. He said Shaper Box because you can use it on all dolls, and that was gonna be my option too. I bought Shaper Box. I love it because it's got the filter. I bought the package, the whole.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's like filter shaper,
volume shaper,
the volume shaper, which I love, bro.
Oh, that volume! I just use that joint. Yeah.
Nah, that's like one of my favorite plugins, probably. How do you feel about new age producers that don't use NPCs but are still able to humanize their beats?
I feel like that's good.
That's me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for the most part, I'm not using these all the time either. I think that's good. You figure out how to stay with what's going on, but still how to do the right thing. You know what I mean? If y'all listening on SoundCloud, I'm making air quotes when I say the right thing. Because humanizing, you don't want your beats to sound super stiff all the time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sample pack drums sounds good, but are loud when mixing and mastering. Even with leveling, the drum sounds are way too loud. Any advice on getting sample pack drums to sit in the mix?
Well, it's not a loudness war.
Right.
It's more of a clarity war and how things are hidden. It's really all about frequencies, man. I don't really know what to tell you. That's a consultation type of thing.
Short answer, and I'll say I learned this from Diego, right? It's like priorities, right? So if your kick is a priority, then it's like your snare. Then it's your 808, right? And then it's you mix according to priority, not according to, you know what I'm saying?
That's about.
It's gain staging is a big part of it. Which
I take you in nature, by the way.
Oh yeah, do your thing. And when do I bring up the subject of split sheets in a session? Early.
Yeah, especially if you don't know the people. I tend to bring it up in a way that's cordial, but I like to bring it up early.
Oh man,
I want to get it out there because some people, whenever a person is not willing to talk about stuff like that, I always think something's crazy with you. So I'm like, I probably don't want to do this in the first place.
Because I think at a certain level too, is like for me and you, for example, if I make a beat, you might change one thing, right? And me being young and not knowing, I would think, oh, you only added one thing. You don't deserve 50%. Now the way I look at it is, that one thing can make the difference in the record.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So if you made a difference in the record, you deserve this percentage. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it now. But me being younger, I probably wouldn't have thought of it the same way.
Oh, I didn't. Polow was the one that taught me about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've definitely had them experience like, you added a hi-hat, bro. Well, and it's been some situations where they didn't really do shit and they try to take more publishing. Yep. And then I had situations where it's like, damn, you really made this record. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you deserve more of this publishing.
True.
It happens, you know what I mean? So I would talk about it early. at least get an understanding, like, especially with writers. You know, most times if you write the hook, you're going to get the 25, and then y'all divvy up the verses and the bridge or whatever. Y'all divvy up that way. Producers, most times, you know, kind of split. Yeah. It's kind of weird when production, when you like, oh, I get 40%, you get this, or you...
Yeah, you're like, well, I don't know. Hi-hat, kick, well, you start tallying.
Yeah.
With vocals,
you know.
You can't really tally up too much.
Yeah.
Production, you can tally up parts and instruments, so...
What's the best way to collab long distance online? How do you send a project if they don't have all your sounds, or do you send the sounds with the project?
I assume y'all using the same DAW since you said with the project. But even if you're not using the same DAW, WAV files. Just
track that boy out.
WAV files, just track it out, send the WAV files. That's it.
I still die. Even though I could collect all and save in Ableton and freeze the tracks, I still could just send the waves.
Yeah.
Because there's certain stuff like the processing that I want on there. I don't want you to be able to change it sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like if I'm sending stuff to realistic, I'll leave it off. But if I'm sending stuff like on a collab, nah, I'm gonna take that. Otherwise, you're gonna have things bleeding into other things.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm managing my own artist, but the hardest part is to convince him to find his own lane and to tell his own story. The following culture is cancerous.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say walk away from your artist. I wouldn't say anything like that, but that's a big problem.
That's like saying I'm gonna be in the burger industry, right? I'm gonna start a restaurant, and my mascot's gonna be a clown, right? And I'm gonna name my shit Mix Something Else, right? It sounds stupid. You're copying somebody else. Explain it to him like that, like, bro, you're copying somebody else's whole business. Do your own thing.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem, because the thing is, when things change and if it gets to a point where everything that you hear that you're copying, like we always say, Triza says it more than I do, it probably happened 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. So you're just chasing the past. Whereas if you have your own thing, you're currently fresh and you're currently new because it is you. You don't have to depend on somebody else to do something for you to know what to do. And whatever they do, they did a while ago. It's like you're chasing somebody's... When they run and they leave some dust behind, you're just copying the dust. They gone. They gone already. Because
you think, we were talking about it earlier, like how now in trap, right? The big thing is that 808 with this gap in it, right? It's a little gap. It's like almost like a side chain, and it's like delayed a little bit, right?
Right.
That's like the big thing. That Drake and Lil Baby song. A lot of these trap songs got this delayed 808, right? Mm-hmm. So now, if you're doing this and you don't really have relationships like that, by the time you even figure it out and get these records on artists,
they on to the next.
It's on to the next thing, because it's so like, it's a cycle to this. You get what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
People package up their albums and they put them out, and they might be done and they're on to the next project. You might get 1 or 2 songs swapped out, but these projects are done. They scheduled out. You know what I'm saying?
And the crazy thing is, look at all the people you admire and all the people that are legends. It's because they didn't sound like somebody else.
Facts.
There aren't too many. I can't really think of any legends that sounded exactly like somebody else, like a carbon copy of somebody else.
Morris Day ain't even that popular. Most people don't even know who Morris Day is. Nah.
Yo.
I mean, in our lane, he's popular. You know what I mean? But
that's true.
You know what I mean? What kind of cloud is cheap and best for saving your songs?
I'm Young Dropbox.
Same here.
Yep.
Do the producer present the production contract when producing an artist or the label? So do you give the contract to the artist? No. Most of the time, in my experience, it's been, we want this record, and then your people hit my people.
Right. And
then they send me this producer deck.
A deck.
Yeah. And then my people look over it and they be like, nah, bro, you need this, and this. They trying to do this, and I'd be like, nah, you gotta switch this. Then they go back and forth, and we negotiate until we come to an understanding. Sign the paperwork, record comes out.
That's called a producer deck.
Facts.
Sound kits going down.
TTLO, theproducerkit.com. Man, if y'all gonna be there tomorrow, excited to see y'all. If you're not gonna be there, you're gonna see us on the stories.
That's a fact.
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
Shout out, salute, cheers to everybody. Have a great weekend. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Blah, you know what I mean?